angels smoking cigarettes on rooftops in fishnets in the morning with the moon still glowing. And here comes Jesus in an Astro van rolling down the strip again. He's stoned while Jerry plays. He said life ain't ever what it seems. These dreams are more than paper things. It's alright mama, you're afraid I'll be poor along the way, but I don't wanna see those tears again. You know Jesus drives an Astro van.
Hello everybody, this is episode 12. Thank you for tuning in, and I just got out of jiu-jitsu. I am making some coconut chicken right now. If you're wondering, you just get like some coconut flakes and put on some chicken. It's pretty damn good. I tried it earlier today to test run it before I decided to make it for dinner, but it's really good. It's really like there's a lot of coconut is a I don't know why I'm going into this right now, but coconut is a very it's an amazing food. Coconuts and avocados, those got to be like my two favorite food that exists because there's just so much like healthy fat that you get from them. Coconut water and avocados. I always tell my girlfriend that like my main goal in like my main goal in life, like the thing that will make me the most satisfied with where I'm at and what I'm doing, is when I can be able to afford organic avocados and the best coconut water without even thinking about it, like without thinking about how much it costs, or just it doesn't even have to be fucking organic. Because I mean, I don't really know what organic means, if that's just like a marketing thing or if it's I'm sure it's a legit thing. Like you have to pay a bunch of money to get that tagged, but I don't know if it's as big of a deal as everybody makes it out. Anyways, but yeah, coconut water and avocados. If I can just get to the point where that's just, a breeze for me, that's pretty good. That's pretty much all I want. That, and to be doing that. This coconut water, avocados. I don't know why like that sort of lifestyle attracts me so much, but the coconut water, the avocados, on the beach, surfing, doing jiu-jitsu regularly, like, and maybe mix in some yoga and some isolation flotation tank. Like that's got to be heaven right there for me. When I think about the things that I want, that's got to be heaven. You're just getting, you're just hitting life from all angles with that. I feel throw in some weed, a little bit of psychedelics here and there, like you're really just hitting life at all angles with that. A healthy diet, waking up at 5 a.m. or something like that. Just waking up at 5 a.m, doing fucking a run on the beach, then going surfing and doing some meditation. Like that, God, that's that California lifestyle. Like from somebody who's in Florida, it seems like such a, I can't even talk about it because it's probably not even real. Like when people think about Florida, they probably think a bunch of crazy old people on pills. And I mean, there is probably definitely a lot of that here, but the California utopia that's probably portrayed on Instagram and other places is probably not everything. But I don't know. I've heard from people who've been there to California and they said they really loved it. But I don't know. Aside from that, but California, Oregon, Colorado, those all just are like seem like beautiful states. Out west, they have like you look at maps of like the roads and the like you can see because there's the maps where you see the roads and there's a big blob of green for stuff that you can't really drive in. And California or like Oregon, those places like they have it locked down. There's just so much forest. In Florida, we have like the Everglades, but you never really hear about the Everglades. Like they're there, but you don't. There's not a whole lot of people talking about the Everglades. I don't know. I think Indians still live there. Maybe they got like moved and came back or whatever. But I'm pretty sure there's some Indians that live in the Everglades. I could be completely full of shit on that, but no, that'd be interesting. Yeah, but no, you never hear about the fucking Everglades. Probably floods all the time. But I don't know. That's why I just want to fucking travel. That's why I want to see the world, because there's just so much. there's just such a broad spectrum of how varied the earth is. Like, just there's no two places on it that are the exact same, right? You get places that look similar to each other more or less, but it's still just different everything is unfolded in each particular location in a completely different and unique way from any other spot on earth, just in a purely Darwinian sense. Like, you might have a forest in Europe and a forest in California, and they might look similar, maybe, but the biome and the science behind the way the environment is just unfolding from a food chain perspective, from a just from a biome, from a weather perspective, everything is just different. I'm sure there's a lot of plants and stuff that are very closely related, but it's just so much. It's a completely different thing, and I bet you gotta feel that when you're there. You gotta feel because I went to the Appalachians one weekend, and I remember feeling like, I've been in nature before. I've been at a lot of parks and stuff like that, and it's really cool going to parks in Florida because it's just so green. In some areas, just so green, so lush, and very rich, and that's a really cool thing to see because you could just be surrounded by green. But I was in the Appalachians. I went up to the Appalachians one weekend, and it was a completely different thing. It was more rocky. The trees were taller. There was more ground. There was it was the Appalachians, so obviously it was mountainous. There was, it was so fucking steep. It was so cool, and literally, it just felt so different. It felt so not so, but it felt really, really alien to where I am used to. I'm used to being in Florida, where it's just you're just covered in, there's either big open fields in some places, or you're just covered in just this green lush everywhere, just this, and that wasn't there. It was a completely different thing. And just the view you got from seeing mountains was just incredible. You just see that you're on a planet. You don't see, like, it's very easy when you're on the ground and everything is just flat that you get caught up in the things that you can see right in front of you, because that's really all you can see. You can see the buildings, the road, the people that you're talking to, whatever. But once you get on a mountain and you're able to look off into the fucking gaze like that's an incredible feeling. It's because you get just this sense of scale. You realize how small you are in comparison to just everything else. Just the whole universe. You just realize how fucking small you are, because you're just standing on a mountain, and this mountain is just ginormous. You can't see where it ends. It just goes on and on and on and on. And you look off and you think that you're seeing just so much, but really you've just seen such a small amount of the thing. And yeah, that's why that's what I want to do. That's why I want to fucking travel and go see this stuff. And I have that ability now. That's the thing I realized when I went to the Appalachians and I was making sales with my business on the floor of my car at like 4:00 in the morning. And I remember thinking to myself, this is something right here. I don't have to be in a town. I could be in the Appalachians. I could be in China. I could be anywhere. It's just because I've somehow, for however long time, figured out how to get some sort of revenue out of online interactions. I've found out how to do that to some extent, and I have that. It's so liberating. I mean, it's terrifying because if you feel at any moment it can just dry up. That's people say when you start a business, is like, well, be careful, it might dry up. They say it like it's completely out of control, and to some extent it is a little bit, but because some things are just chance. Like, some things they just won't happen on a day, and another day things will just take off. But aside from that, I realized, hey, I have the ability to fucking be wherever I want, and as long as I'm able to afford food, maybe a bed, and some form of transportation, I'm good. Like, I'm good. That's all. What else do I need? What else do I need? Like, yeah, it's nice to read books and stuff, so maybe carry a book. And I like working out, so that's probably the other biggest thing is working out. How are you gonna work out being on the road? And I think there's solutions to that. I would probably just try to like sandbag some hotel gyms or something. I know. I don't know. I probably would go to parks and find some monkey bars and learn how to do a lot of calisthenics. But I think it's possible. I guarantee you there's definitely people in there that have just traveled around and stay in shape. And I'm pretty sure martial arts schools are relatively lenient about training with them. And I think that, go to a martial arts academy, they might, charge you $10 a day? Yeah, I think at most, maybe more. But, you get some training in, you get a sweat in, you have money for gas, you have money for food. What else do you fucking need? As long as you're on the road. I mean, I don't know, because some people I think are creatures of habit and they do thrive just being in one particular spot. And I might be one of those people. I think I might have felt a little homesick when I went to the Appalachians pretty quickly, which is something I should look into. But no, it's a really cool thing, and I think that so many people have that ability now to do that, to find a way to make their life not be dependent on location, or any sort of boss employer phenomenon. I think it's possible to break free of that because I've done it so far, and I can reasonably see like continuing to do it, and not only continuing to do it, but getting better at it. And so that's what I really think that I want to do with this podcast is like, for the first time, I feel like I know how to do something and I can take that knowledge and really help other people, because it's if you have the right principles down, and I don't want to say, it sounds like I'm selling something, because I'm not. I don't even know how I'm going to do it. But if you have the right principles down and you just follow a few steps, you can do it. And then once those steps kind of become irrelevant because other people start doing them, so you have to find different methods and different tactics, because then it starts to dry up. That's when you move somewhere else. You move to doing different methods, but the principles are still. I got that idea from Tim Ferriss, that as long as you have good principles on why you're doing things and the concept, sort of the reasoning behind different things, then you could apply the methods that you want. But if you just are trying to do a bunch of different methods, but you don't have any principles, you don't have any things that you fundamentally believe in, then that is going to hinder you, because you're not going to be enthusiastic about it in the long run enough to pay attention and, follow through with it. But I think that, like, again, I'm still learning, and there's moments where I get scared and I think, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this forever. But there's also that other side of, it's like, maybe I can do this forever. Maybe I can keep getting better and better and better at it. I think that now is the time to help other people and show them how to do it, because I think that it's not for everybody, for sure, but I think that there are a lot of other people like me who felt like I did, being in a job that they hated, with a boss that they maybe didn't respect or whatever, and you just feel like you're not living your full potential. And I've those points where maybe I was being melodramatic about it, but I felt like I was dying. I felt like just spiritually, I was just being crushed by the environment that I was in. I was in an environment where, just, if you've ever worked at a restaurant or something like it, it's just crabs in a bucket. Everybody's just bringing each other down nonstop. And it's something that you have to realize, like, hey, I got to get the fuck out of here. But that only happens if you're doing things daily to give yourself the confidence to do that. At least I think. Maybe you could be a total slob and not have any discipline and then jump into something and really master it. But I think like there's a few things. I mean, for me, cold showers. I take a cold shower every morning. Like it's brutal. Not brutal. It's hard to do it. It's hard to mentally talk yourself up into doing it, but it's probably one of the best things I do aside from jiu-jitsu, aside from meditation. Like that is, and that doing that in the morning, just, it's like, I heard once in a fucking, one of those not annoying, but one of those YouTube videos, and they're like, well, imagine that all your fears and anxieties and indecision about things is put in this bucket and just lump it all into one pile. And now that pile is a cold shower. It's that thing that you're avoiding. It's that thing that you don't want to do and don't want to get in. And it's something that's difficult, something that's going to take you out of your comfort zone, especially if you do it first thing in the morning. But you'll feel better about yourself because you did it. You'll feel better about yourself because every morning you just start off on a good note. Like, hey, I'm not a bitch, you know. There's the quote, discipline equals freedom. If you regularly make the decision to say, hey, I'm going to do this thing that's difficult and that I don't want to do, but, you know, fuck it. Like, just because I don't want to do something, I shouldn't just give in to my impulses all the time. I'm going to try to do it anyways. And you do it. It's like it feels good because it feels like you're exercising a muscle. You're exercising that muscle to do difficult things regardless of what the inner bitch is telling you to back out of. But no, so I think I could really show people or like try to teach people this kind of stuff, and maybe not do it so explicitly, because it not be like, all right, well, first you do this and then you go to this website and then you go to that website, because I think that one, not everybody's going to want to do the exact same thing that I did, and I don't want to let everybody know about the exact same thing that I did, because again, people want to do different things. It's not this. We're not all the same. We have different goals, different aspirations, and and that's natural, and that's how it's supposed to be. So it wouldn't be incredibly useful for me to go say, hey, do this method, and this method in a very technical, like step-by-step way, because then, like I said about the principles, not a lot of people are going to be very, they're just going to do it and go through the motions, but they're not going to have any real attachment to it. So I think the one thing I can talk about on here is the principles behind it, as to the extent that I'm understanding them, because again, I've literally just started this thing, but I think that I'm doing this thing, and most people I know aren't doing this thing, so maybe I know more about this thing than other people, and maybe other people want to do this thing like I'm doing. And when I say this thing, I mean not having a job, not going to school, and trying to sustain yourself and pursue other creative aspirations. And I think it's really possible, and I don't know, and maybe offer. I don't want to get too much into that, but like offer some way to like consult people that do want to do the actual business stuff. But I don't want to get into that. I just want to really, because that's what this podcast is for. It's for what I think any podcast is for. It's for trying to understand things. It's not any particular thing. It's just it's the act of understanding, of attempting to understand somebody else's point, understand a line of reasoning or argumentation, understand yourself. Like when you talk, instead of regulating your speech and trying to force a certain thing to come out to make you sound awesome, instead just try to allow whatever word comes to your mind in the moment. Just try to be completely present. It's a lot like jujitsu, because you have to focus on it. You can't, if you're not focusing on it and you're not paying attention to what you're doing, then you start slipping up and you get lazy and you start talking about different things that you don't really care about, you're not really inspired by, and you're just talking about it to try to make yourself come off better, try to just sound cool, or sound like you're smart, or sound like you know this, or sound like you know that, and it becomes it's really just a matter of not paying attention. Because if you're not paying attention, you're gonna try to back out of it. You're gonna try to pretend like it's not there. But like that, like just I don't know. But so that's my goal. That's the niche I'm going to occupy. And I think it's so important to, I don't even want to keep going into how important different things like that are, but my chicken just went off, my coconut chicken. So I'm going to go pull that out of the oven, and I appreciate you guys listening. I'm going to keep doing this. This was nice, and I'm going to get better and better at it, and hopefully it's pretty good one day. So once again, thank you for tuning in, and peace out.
Do be smoking. Jesus puts my name upon his guest list. Says, son, you're famous in heaven. Maybe you're famous in heaven. And maybe there is no heaven. And maybe we're all alone together now. And I don't want to see those tears again. You know Jesus drives an Astro van. Again, you know Jesus drives an Astro van.